What's up, everybody? It is Sunday night, June 5th, 2016. Time for the market review, market forecast. So Friday was an interesting day. So the jobs number came out. It was very disappointing. And along with that, there was a lot of interesting things. You had a heavy volume in the SPY, ended up as a doji. As far as opening where it closed, but it opened lower, so it was a lower day, drifted down and then was bought back. It'll be interesting to see where we open on Monday, but the real mover was obviously gold. So gold, after the jobs report and the fallout of that, flew back to that 1850 area, which is basically what I've been talking about, how if it were to hold, it would go back there, and it indeed did. It will be interesting to see if it is able to move past that and get back into the 120, 121 area, 122, so far, and so forth. But basically, the script was flipped as far as whether there would be a rate hike in June. This kind of downward trend was people kind of expecting it, or saying, okay, it is going to happen. There's been enough people saying it's going to happen, it's going to happen, and that kind of got flipped, and basically a lot of shorts got bought out, and longs were initiated, and so forth, and now we're back into the middle of this range off of obviously very strong buying. And I would expect that to continue. It's continued so far in the evening session here on Sunday. So it'll be interesting to see where a resistance shows up. I would think the next area is going to be somewhere around this 120.50, 120. Yeah, right around this 120.50 area. That's what I would expect is the next area of resistance. It'll be interesting to see if it's able to go past that at this point because of the certainty, I would guess, or more certainty in that. And it'll be interesting to see if more info comes out. Along with that, actually, let's look at the dollar index. So the dollar, obviously, with the idea of no rate hike, fell off a cliff. Basically in reverse correlation with gold, and so this is really interesting because it does several things. One, with the jobs report and everything, obviously there's a lot of that's negative information, a negative for the economy. But with the dollar falling off the cliff and this idea of no rate hike, that kind of balances it out a little bit, which is possibly why we saw just a doji at the SPY. We didn't see an unwind of assets in the SPY on Friday. But that being said, the oil dropped as well, and then kind of got bought back up. Basically ended close to even on the session, still above the 200-day moving average. So what'll be interesting to see is whether this is a net positive or net negative for oil, and that's kind of actually a great litmus test for where we go, I think, for the SPY in the future. So generally, oil goes up along with a good economy and demand. Good economy, good demand for oil. Oil prices rise. Bad economy, more supply than demand, oil prices drop. Now, obviously, there's a lot of other things going on with OPEC and production and all that shenanigans. But obviously, oil is also a commodity, and so with a weakening dollar, oil prices rise, and with a strong dollar, oil prices drop. That counterbalances the strong economy, higher demand, weak economy, lower demand. So those two things are in counterbalance, and oil can be a good prognosticator for what's going to happen because you get to see, well, what's winning. If oil goes higher here, you can say, okay, well, this weak dollar is going to buoy stocks and commodities a little bit. If oil drops, you can say, okay, well, the bad economy story is the story that's going to win. So very interesting times we live in, and so it'll be interesting to see how all this plays out. So with that being said, let's look at the trades. Let me pull them up. The possible trades that were triggered. So I'm excited for the trading strategies that I've been working on. I've got a lot of things that I've been working on that I can post as far as charts and so forth, and being a little bit more transparent about some of the different trading strategies. So I'm happy to show that stuff out over the next few weeks. So two long trades were triggered, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. June, obviously choppy month, so this is for the 7/15 options expirations. So July 15th, this is R.R. Donnelly and Sons, RRD Business Services. So basically this bounced off the 50-day and looks like it wants to challenge bounced off the 200-day. Looks like it wants to challenge the 50-day, and it's in a bit of a range. So you want to see how the SPY moves from here. We are at the top of the range, so I would expect some downward pressure. But RRD, and then also SKT. So this is a REIT. So this obviously looks very bullish. Ended up on a doji. My guess is that it's got some news that triggered on this one. But obviously very bullish. It looks very bullish in a little bit of a downtrend here, and at the top of this downtrend. So looks like it wants to break out higher. Very bullish candle on Friday, right at $36. So this it's interesting how some of these factory centers basically end up as real estate plays. So those are the two long trades that were triggered for the 6th of June, which would be tomorrow. So you buy those on the close if you want to go with those. I'm more partial to SKT. That one looks like a better play for me. Bounced off the 200-day, closed above its 50-day moving average, and looks like it wants to break through that downtrend line, which could give it more momentum going forward. So a lot of exciting stuff coming down the pike. Hopefully I'll be able to post a lot more. Follow me on Twitter at TradeKraken, StockTwits at TradeKraken, KRAKEN, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So God bless, good luck, and hey, trade them well on Monday. Thanks.